purpose of Silverback's life. Eagle and all the members of the 10 Great Assassins rushed to visit Cobra to see how he was doing. Cobra lay on the bed, his eyes dull and his breath weak. It seemed as though death was waiting to claim him. Eagle grasped Cobra's hand. "Cobra, how are you?" Cobra replied in a very weak voice, "Master, I have served you for over 10 years. I have devoted my entire life to the cause. But I have never seen a peaceful world. This may be my greatest regret." As Silverback listened, he thought back to the first time he met Eagle while wandering in a jungle. Suddenly, a man appeared. The man spoke, "I am Eagle. I have been guiding you since you were a child. Why are you wandering here?" Silverback replied, I don't know why I'm here." Eagle continued, "Come home with me." Silverback hesitated, "Where is my home? Why should I follow you?" Eagle explained, "You were attacked by hyenas and lost your memory." Silverback followed Eagle home. Upon reaching the house, Eagle led Silverback into his study. "Do you want to bring peace to this world? Do you want to see a world without bloody battles, meaningless massacres, and endless chaos? My method is to use brutality to counter brutality. Only by doing so can we completely eliminate those who spread terror. A chaotic gang world needs an iron fist to control it. If the gangs are ruthless, then we must be more ruthless than they are. That is the truth. We cannot use kindness to deal with evil. We need to use strength and determination. You know that only people like us can achieve that. We are not just killers, we are protectors of order, those who stand against chaos. We must act for a goal greater than ourselves. Join us, and we will restore order to this world. You will no longer have to live in chaos, no longer have to see innocent people being killed senselessly. We will be more ruthless than any enemy, and we will bring a peace that this world has never known. Join the 10 Great Assassins. Together, we will make history." Eagle's words awakened Silverback from his stupor. Silverback had found the purpose of his life. Without hesitation, Silverback said, "I will join." Eagle patted his shoulder and smiled. "From this day forward, I will call you Silverback." Back in the present, Cobra lay on his deathbed, reflecting on his life. "Master," Cobra whispered, his voice barely audible, "I have given everything for our cause, but I have never seen the peace we fought for. That is my only regret." Eagle, standing by Cobra's side, held his hand tightly. "You have been a loyal warrior, Cobra. Your dedication and sacrifice have not been in vain. We are on the brink of achieving what we set out to do. You have paved the way for a better future." Silverback, standing nearby, was reminded of his first encounter with Eagle. The clarity and conviction in Eagle's words had given Silverback a sense of purpose and direction. He remembered how Eagle had spoken of using strength and determination to bring order to a chaotic world, of being more ruthless than their enemies to achieve a greater good. As Cobra took his final breaths, he looked up at Eagle. "Promise me, Master, that you will see this through. That our efforts will not be wasted." Eagle nodded, a solemn expression on his face. "I promise, Cobra. Your sacrifice will be honored, and we will continue our fight for peace and order." With those words, Cobra closed his eyes for the last time. The room fell silent as the members of the 10 Great Assassins bowed their heads in respect. Eagle stood up, his resolve hardened by the loss of his loyal warrior. Turning to Silverback, Eagle spoke with a firm voice. "We will continue our mission. We will honor Cobra's memory by achieving the peace he longed for." Silverback nodded, the fire of determination burning in his eyes. He had found his place in the world, and he would fight alongside Eagle and the 10 Great Assassins to bring about the change they sought. Wolfbane's sadness. Wolfbane was inconsolable over the death of his beloved brother, Cobra. Cobra had been more than just a sibling to him. He was a mentor, a hero, and the unwavering pillar of strength in his life. The grief that tore through Wolfbane's heart was unbearable, a void that no words could fill. Kneeling beside Cobra's lifeless body, Wolfbane's tears fell uncontrollably, his sobs echoing through the room. The pain of loss was compounded by the fact that Cobra had not spoken a single word to him before passing away. There had been no final farewell, no last words of wisdom or comfort, only the cold silence of death. Cobra, Wolfbane choked out between sobs, his voice trembling with anguish. "Why did you have to leave me like this? Why didn't you say anything?" Memories of their time together flooded Wolfbane's mind. He remembered the countless battles they had fought side by side, the late-night conversations about their dreams and fears, and the way Cobra had always been there to protect and guide him. Cobra had been more than a brother. He had been a father figure, a teacher, and a friend. The room seemed to close in on Wolfbane as he cried, the weight of his sorrow pressing down on him. He had always looked up to Cobra, striving to live up to his example and make him proud. Now, with Cobra gone, Wolfbane felt lost, adrift in a sea of grief and uncertainty. "Eagle," he called out weakly, his voice barely above a whisper. "Why did this have to happen? Why did Cobra have to die?" Eagle, standing nearby, placed a comforting hand on Wolfbane's shoulder. "I understand your pain, Wolfbane. Cobra was a great warrior and a cherished member of our family. His sacrifice will not be in vain. We will honor his memory by continuing our fight for peace and order." But Wolfbane could find no solace in those words. The loss of Cobra was too raw, too profound. He had always imagined that they would continue their journey together, facing whatever challenges came their way as a united front. Now, that vision was shattered, and the future seemed bleak and uncertain. As the days passed, Wolfbane's grief did not abate. He found himself wandering through the halls of their stronghold, his mind plagued by memories of Cobra. Every corner, every shadow seemed to hold a fragment of his brother's presence, a reminder of what had been lost. He often found himself in Cobra's quarters, sitting silently and surrounded by his brother's belongings. The scent of Cobra's cologne still lingered in the air, a painful reminder of his absence. Wolfbane would hold Cobra's sword in his hands, tracing the intricate designs on the hilt and remembering the countless times he had seen his brother wield it with unparalleled skill. "Cobra, I don't know how to go on without you," he would whisper to the empty room, his voice breaking with emotion. "You were my strength, my guide. How can I ever fill the void you've left behind?" The pain of losing Cobra was a constant, gnawing ache in Wolfbane's heart. It colored every moment, every thought. He tried to find solace in his training, throwing himself into his exercises with a fervor that bordered on self-destructive. But no matter how hard he pushed himself, the grief remained, an ever-present shadow that he could not escape. The other members of the 10 Great Assassins offered their support, but Wolfbane felt a barrier between himself and them. They could not understand the depth of his loss, the unique bond he had shared with Cobra. Their words of comfort felt hollow, their presence a stark reminder that Cobra was no longer there. "Eagle, I don't know how to move forward," Wolfbane confessed one evening, his voice heavy with despair. "Without Cobra, I feel like I've lost a part of myself." Eagle looked at him with understanding and compassion. "Wolfbane, your brother's spirit lives on in you. He taught you everything he knew, and he believed in you. Honor his memory by living up to the example he set. We need you now more than ever." But Wolfbane struggled to accept this. The weight of expectation felt overwhelming, and the grief continued to gnaw at his soul. He found himself haunted by dreams of Cobra, waking in the night with tears streaming down his face and a deep sense of longing in his heart. In those dark moments, he would remember Cobra's unwavering strength and resilience. His brother had faced countless challenges, never backing down, always fighting for what he believed in. Wolfbane knew that Cobra would not want him to be consumed by grief, but to rise above it and carry on their shared mission. But the pain of loss never truly faded. It became a part of him, a scar on his soul that would never fully heal. Wolfbane carried his brother's memory with him, a constant reminder of the bond they had shared and the sacrifice Cobra had made. Eagle's pride. Eagle sat in his room, contemplating the future plans. His heart felt heavy, burdened by the recent losses of 2 loyal and dedicated members of the 10 Great Assassins. The deaths of Bearclaw and now Cobra had weakened their formidable group, leaving only 8 members. Perhaps it was time to call them the 8 Great Assassins. But no, Eagle refused to let that happen. The name 10 Great Assassins had struck terror into the hearts of the underworld. The pride Eagle felt in leading the 10 Great Assassins was immeasurable. This elite group of warriors had been meticulously trained and honed to perfection under his guidance. Each member possessed unique skills and unmatched prowess, making them a formidable force in the underworld. Their reputation was built on countless victories, each one a testament to their strength and strategy. The 10 Great Assassins were not just a group, they were a symbol of fear and respect. Stories of their exploits spread like wildfire, whispered in hushed tones among gang leaders and their followers. They were known for their ruthlessness, their precision, and their ability to strike fear into even the most hardened criminals. No gang dared to challenge them head-on, knowing that doing so would lead to inevitable defeat. Eagle's pride swelled as he recalled the numerous battles they had fought and won. The 10 Great Assassins had dismantled powerful gangs, crushed rebellion, and brought order to the chaotic underworld. They had become legends, their names etched in the annals of gang history. Bearclaw, with his unyielding strength and spears that pierced through any defense. Cobra, with his swift and deadly swordsmanship. Each member had brought something unique to the table, making their collective force unstoppable. Their tactics were a blend of cunning strategy and brute force. Eagle had always emphasized the importance of planning and preparation. Each mission was meticulously thought out, with every possible scenario considered. This level of detail and foresight was what set them apart from other gangs. The 10 Great Assassins were not just warriors, they were tacticians, able to outthink and outmaneuver their opponents at every turn. The terror they inspired was not just due to their physical abilities, but also their psychological warfare. The mere mention of their name was enough to cause panic. They were shadows, ghosts that moved unseen until it was too late. Their ability to infiltrate, assassinate, and disappear without a trace was legendary. This reputation had been carefully cultivated, and Eagle took immense pride in maintaining it. However, the recent losses weighed heavily on him. Bearclaw and Cobra were not just skilled fighters, they were family. Their deaths were a blow to the group's morale and strength. Eagle knew that he needed to address this, to find a way to maintain their fearsome reputation despite these setbacks. The name 10 Great Assassins carried weight, and he would not allow it to be diminished. Reflecting on their past victories, Eagle felt a renewed sense of purpose. The underworld needed to remember who they were dealing with. The 10 Great Assassins were more than just a name, they were a force of nature, unstoppable and relentless. Their enemies would do well to remember that. Eagle stood, his resolve hardening. The losses they had suffered were significant, but they were not insurmountable. The 10 Great Assassins would rise from this stronger, more determined than ever. Their legend would continue, and the underworld would once again tremble at the mere mention of their name. The room around him seemed to fade as Eagle's thoughts focused on the future. He envisioned new recruits, rigorous training sessions, and meticulously planned missions. The 10 Great Assassins would adapt, evolve, and continue to dominate. Their enemies would fall, one by one, as they had always done. Eagle's pride in his group was unshaken. The 10 Great Assassins had faced adversity before and emerged victorious. They would do so again. The world of gangs would continue to fear and respect them, for they were not just warriors, they were legends. As the night deepened, Eagle's determination solidified. The 10 Great Assassins would not be reduced to 8. They would remain 10, in name and in spirit. The legacy of terror they had built would endure, and their enemies would continue to cower in fear. Eagle would see to it that the 10 Great Assassins remained the most formidable force in the underworld, a testament to his leadership and their unyielding strength.